All right. Happy Monday, everyone. Um, the world is what the world is, and we need to do our best to find some moments that we can live with. Just going to move that. So I am teaching today from Connecticut. So go ahead and come into your grounded seat. You're going to do a little side to side rocking here. My parents are in the process of moving. They sold their house. They have like 18 days left. Start to slow down. Maybe a little sway side to side. And then come to that center, to your tall spine. Feel your sit bones on the floor underneath you. Lift your shoulders up to your ears. And then drop them down away from you. Lift your shoulders up to your ears and drop them down away from you. Inhale your shoulders up and exhale them down. Let your hands rest on your knees. Let your eyes close or soften in front of you. We're going to take this moment to listen to our breath. Find that spot way deep in the center of you that you can find calmness. And then hold on to that. And it might be really small, and that's okay. Breathe into it. See if it helps for you to imagine like it's a little bubble that gets a little bit bigger as you breathe in and then shrinks a little bit as you breathe out. I'm going to take a moment of silence here, just reflecting on what you need to reflect on. Reach your arms out to the side, lift them up with hope. Let your palms touch. Exhale out compassion. Reach your arms out to the side. Inhale, bring in joy. Exhale out joy. One more time, reach out, breathe in. And exhale, draw your hands down. Reach your arms straight out at shoulder height. Check that you're still sitting up nice and tall. And let's rotate our arms in our shoulder sockets to the back. Small circles here. And now reverse the direction. Small circles to the front. Reach your arms up, reach, grow tall. And on your exhale, twist to the right, bringing your left hand to your right knee and bring your right hand behind you. Coming into a gentle twist. It's the beginning of class. We don't want to get too heavy yet. Breathe here as you feel your spine lengthen up. And then exhale, maybe twist a little bit further. Keeping your left hand where it is, reach your right hand out to the side and up by your right ear. Grow tall, and on your exhale, bend to the left. Notice if your right sit bone started to come up off the ground and see if you can plug it down a little bit. Breathing here. Let your right hand come down to your left knee. Drop your chin to your chest, round your spine. Holding onto your knees, see if you can roll back a little bit further. And then inhale back up to a straight spine. Release your hands and reach for your shoulders. Give yourself a hug. We all need this. One more breath here. And on your exhale, reach your arms back up overhead. Exhale, twist to the left, bringing your right hand to your left knee, looking over your left shoulder. Keep your spine nice and tall. And exhale, breathe. Keep your right hand where it is. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Grow nice and tall. And then exhale over to the right. Feel your spine lengthen and stretch. Let your shoulders relax. And then drop your left hand to your right knee, chin to chest. Bow your head forward. Breathe here, let your spine round. And then come up to straight, give yourself a hug. Breathe in. As you unwind your arms, interlace your fingers, and take some figure eights to start to stretch out your wrists. Choosing which direction works best for you. And then shake it off. Nice. Go ahead and make your way into your tabletop position, lining your hands up under your shoulders, your knees up under your hips, and we'll do some cat-cows. So drop your belly, open your heart. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale forward, arching your back. Exhale, rounding your spine. Inhale forward and exhale round. Come back to your neutral spine. Check your placement. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. And when you look back between your legs, you can't see your toes. Now bump your hips to your right. Look over your left shoulder. Stretching through the lower side body. And then come through center, bump your hips to the left, look over the right shoulder. Move back and through this a few times, finding your own breath. Going side to side. And now come back to center and we'll move in a circular motion. So you're reaching your hips back towards your heels and then over to the left, coming forward, making nice big circles. We'll go 3 times to the right. And then we're up at the front of the mat. We'll switch directions and go 3 times to the left. Wonderful. One more time. I lost count. It felt so good. And come back to neutral. Reach your right foot behind you. Rock your right foot back and forth. Make sure as you're doing this that you're still pressing into your knuckles and your fingertips, that you're not dumping weight into your wrist, and that you're lifting up through your belly. And now lift the toe up, flex your heel, reach your left arm forward, find your balance, gaze straight down. You want your back to be flat. If I had a teacup of hot tea, you wouldn't want to spill it. And then exhale, draw the knee in towards the elbow. This time you'll round your back. Inhale to straight back. Exhale, round knee to elbow. Inhale to straight back. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach out. Lower your hand down. Now we're going to bend and straighten our legs, stretching through your quadriceps, stretching through your hamstring. One more. And then lower your knee back down. If you need to wiggle it out, readjust, go ahead and do that. Now reach your left leg back, rock back and forth over your toes. One calf might be tighter, stretchier, opposite of tighter than the other. And now lift that left leg up, find that flat back. Reach your right arm forward. You don't want to spill the hot tea. Press down through all your fingers. Exhale, round your back, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round your back, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round your back, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Lower your right hand down, flex your left foot. Bring your heel towards your butt. Bending your knee. One more, and then return the knee. Wiggle it out right to left. Reach your right foot behind you again. Lift it up, draw the knee into the chest and slide the right foot up between your toes. I want you to do a little rocking back and forth here. And then sit forward with your hips. Lift up. So you're pressing your hips forward a little bit. Your arms can be at your waist or on blocks. And now reach them out and up. As you gaze up to the ceiling, you're coming into this crescent lunge, finding some stretching through your lower back and through your left hip. Let your fingertips rain back down. Plant your left hand, twist up to the right. Breathe here. Let your right hand float, step down. Shift your weight back, flex your right toes. Coming into a runner's stretch. Seeing if you can sit your hips lower, lengthen your spine nice and long. And then as you round your spine, walk your hands back forward. Slide your right knee back under your hips. Readjust. Reach your left leg back, draw your knee in, slide your left foot in between your hands. Rock your hips back and forth. Find your whole left foot on the mat. So you want to press down firmly. And then lift up, pressing your hips forward, stretching through the right hip. Gorgeous. Reach your arms out and up. Breathe here. Nice. And now bring the right hand down, twist to the left. Put your left hand down, shift the left knee back underneath. Go ahead and rock a little bit side to side. Reach your right leg up and back this time. Draw the knee in, float it all the way up. Lift your knee and shift it back a little bit more. Untuck your toe. Reach your arms out and up. A deeper crescent lunge. Reaching up. And then twist to the right. Check that your arms are even, that you're not tipping back yet. And now tip back. Reaching your left arm over to the back of your mat. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. You're in a low lunge. And then twist your arm up to the right. Drop your right hip down. And then bring your right hand down, lower your left knee, return your right knee, and shake it out. Reach your left leg up behind you. Hold it here. Draw the left knee into your chest, slide it up between your hands. Curl your right toes under, shift your knee back a little bit, untuck your toes, find a deeper crescent lunge. Reach your arms out and up. Breathe here. Make sure you're still pressing into that front left foot, so your whole leg should be engaged through here. And now twist to the left. Breathe here. Drop your left hand, reach your right arm up and back. And now cartwheel your hands down. Before we take our low lunge, we forgot to do this hamstring stretch on the other side. So shift your hips back, flex your left toes, reach your heart forward. I want to make sure you're even. And now roll back onto your left foot. Plant your hands, curl your right toe under, twist your left arm up. We'll get there, I promise. And lower your left hand down. Lower your right knee down, come back to tabletop. Go ahead and turn your hands out so your fingertips face either side of your mat. And take some small circles here around your wrists. And then switch the direction. And now if you can, turn your hands so your fingertips face your knees, rock back and forth. Make sure you're still lifting your navel up. You're keeping that flat back. I don't want you to arch your back. Nice. Maybe you can lift your heels of your hands up. Maybe not. All right, turn your fingers all the way back around to the front, walk your hands forward, curl your toes, and lift up to your downward facing dog. Reach your hips up. Breathe here. We're going to inhale, come forward to our high plank. You want to stop with your shoulders over your wrists, and so maybe that means you have to walk your feet back a little bit to get into a nice straight high plank. Make the adjustments that you need to do, and then don't move your feet and lift your hips back up using your lower abs. Breathe here. Now we're going to go through a little flow. We'll do it more than once in case you need to watch it the first time. We're going to ripple forward, some rounding in your spine to come into our high plank. Then we're going to drop our knees, press our hips back into a child's pose, keeping your toes tucked. And then come back to our plank, lift up to downward facing dog. So ripple, roll forward, hold your plank, drop your knees, shift your hips back towards your heels, stretch through your arms, find strength as you come back into that plank, and then lift your hips up, back to downward facing dog. We'll do that a few more times. Ripple, roll forward to plank, pause, drop your knees, shift your heels back, pause, come forward to high plank, pause, lift your hips up, and breathe here. One more time, reach, ripple, roll forward. Pause here. Drop your knees, shift your hips back, and pause. Pull forward to plank, and pause. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. From this down dog, you can stay here, or I invite you to try to lower both elbows down to the mat. Maybe you can do it at one time. Maybe you have to lower one and then the other to come into your dolphin. And then lift them back up. Lower them down. Woo! And then lift them back up. This is hard. It's okay. Maybe it's one at a time. Maybe you're just staying in the down dog and you're like, nope, not for me today. And we'll all meet back in our down dog. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, sit back on your heels. Find that nice tall spine. Reach your arms out to the side. Bring your right hand over your left. Give yourself a hug. Sit up tall. Bring the backs of your palms to touch. If you can, double cross your hands. Breathe here. Lift your elbows so they're in line with your shoulders, and then let your hands move a little bit away from your face. Breathe in, gaze up, lifting your hands towards the ceiling, And then exhale, round all the way forward. So it's like a cat-cow spine. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Release your hands back out to the side. Now give yourself a hug with the left hand on top. Find that straight spine, sitting up nice and tall. Bring the backs of your hands together. And if you can, go ahead and cross your hands so your palms touch. Draw your belly in, lift your elbows to be in line with your shoulders. Let your hands move a little bit away from your forehead. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Unwind your hands, reach them out in front of you, making your way back into your downward facing dog. Breathe here, shifting the weight right to left. Reach the right leg up behind you and bring the right leg down so it crosses over the left. So you're cross-legged. Both feet are on the floor. Breathe. Lift the right leg back up again and then float it back down. Downward facing dog. Float the left leg up behind you and now cross it over the top of the right. See if you can get your feet all the way down. And then lift the left leg back up, lower it down. Float the right leg up behind you, draw the right knee into your chest, and float the right foot up between your hands. You are in your low lunge. Breathe here. Plant your left hand, twist up to the right. Holding here, reach your left ankle back, reach your right hand back, and look at your thumb out of the corner of your eye. And now reach your arm back up. Exhale, look at your thumb. Reach your arm back up. Exhale, look at your thumb. Arm comes all the way up and around, cartwheels down. Step back to downward facing dog. Float your left leg up behind you. Draw your left knee into your chest, left foot up between your hands. You're in your low lunge, reaching your right heel back. Plant your right hand, twist up to the left. Feel your right leg get longer. Reach the right heel back, lower the left arm. Inhale back up. So I have limited shoulder mobility, so my arm doesn't go straight back behind on this side. And then reach it back up. Reach it back. See your thumb out of the corner of your eye. Reach your arm back up. Cartwheel your hand down. Step back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. If you like to move in your down dog, move. If you like to remain still and focus on your breath, do that. Press into your thumb and your forefinger. Float your right leg up behind you. Draw your right knee into your chest. Slide your right foot up between your hands. Breathe here. Plant your left hand, twist up to the right. Breathe here. Start to lift your torso up, coming into a twisted high lunge. And then reverse that twisted high lunge, right arm back, left arm up. Sit a little bit lower into your lunge. Can you get your right leg parallel to the floor? And then cartwheel it all the way down. Step back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Lift your left leg up behind you. Draw the knee into your chest. Find space. Press the floor away from you so that you create space between your chest and the floor to move your leg up into this low lunge. Plant your right hand and reach your left arm up. Coming into your twist. Press into your left foot, press into your right heel, lengthen your left arm up and back, lifting your torso into a twisted high lunge. Breathe here. Bring your left arm down behind you, reach your right arm up and back. Beautiful. And then cartwheel yourself all the way back down. Step back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. As we look forward at our hands, think about shifting the weight into your hands so that more weight is in your arms than in your toes. And then maybe on your tippy toes, you walk your feet up to meet your hands. Let your head hang heavy. Reach for your opposite elbows. Gently sway side to side. Let your hands release and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Coming all the way up to stand. Line your head up over your shoulders. Your spine is nice and tall. We're gonna get our feet about hip distance apart, sit down into our chair position. Reach your arms out in front of you. Give yourself a hug, right hand over left. We're still in our chair position. Bring the backs of your hands to touch. Maybe you can double cross them. Reach your elbows up to shoulder height. Reach your hands away from your forehead. Sit a little bit deeper. Breathe here. And then unwrap your arms, come all the way back up to stand, straighten your legs. Let your eyes close. Take a moment. Bend your knees, come back into our chair position, reaching your arms straight out in front of you. Give yourself a hug with the left arm on top, reaching for your shoulders if that's available. If you can, bring the backs of your hands to touch and then wrap them around so that the fronts of your hands meet. If none of that is available, keep your hands on your shoulders in the hug, or your triceps in the hug, or your elbows in the hug. Lift your elbows up to shoulder height if that's possible. Reach your hands away from your forehead. Sit a little bit lower in your chair. Sit with this discomfort. Notice how it might not feel great, and that's okay. And then release your hands, stand up, let your arms come down by your side. It's over, it passed. Come to the top of your mat. Find a comfortable standing position, and we'll move into some sun salutations. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, dive forward, coming into a flat back. Inhale, flat back, sorry. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Hold your plank, drop your knees, hugging your elbows in by the side of your chest, lower down chest and chin. Untuck your toes, baby cobra. Exhale your forehead back down. Press straight up to plank or come through tabletop. Curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Stay here in stillness or in movement. One more deep breath, and then start to shift your weight into your hands, coming up on your toes, and then tippy toe your feet closer to your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press down to come all the way up to stand, palms touch. Exhale your hands down by your side. Inhale, breathe your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Hold here in your plank. Breathe. Lower your knees. Untuck your toes. Maybe you're ready to lower halfway down. And then press back up, coming into your back bend. If not, go through our previous variation, and then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. In your down dog, stay here and breathe, or maybe you practice lifting one hand and then the other. Lifting one hand and then the other. One more time. And doing that without shifting your hips too much. Gaze forward at your hands, shift the weight into your hands, and tiptoe, walk your feet up. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach out and up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands down by your side. And breathe. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. If you're ready for your full vinyasa, full chaturanga, great, join me. If not, take any variation that works for you. Lower down halfway, hold here. Untuck your toes, lift back up. Exhale, come back to down dog. Breathe here. Press the floor away from you. Maybe this time you practice lifting the heels of your hands up. Maybe you can lift both heels up, both hand heels up at once, or maybe you have to do one at a time. I'm not quite there doing both at the same time, but this is a practice. It's all about progress. Things change every day. Shift the weight into your entire hand. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach your hands all the way out and up. Exhale them down by your side. Keeping your feet in that comfortable hip distance. I want you to come back into your chair pose. Reach your arms out in front of you. Give yourself a hug with the right arm on top. Holding onto your shoulders or your triceps wherever you can, shift your weight into your left foot, reach your right foot up, and cross your right ankle, right leg over your left, coming into eagle in whatever variation you might be able to. Sit your hips down a little bit lower and a little bit lower. Nice. And then release. Come back to stand. Let your arms come down by your side. Maybe you need to shake them out a little bit. Maybe not. And then when you're ready, sit back down into chair. Reach your arms out in front of you. This time, give yourself a hug. Left arm on top. Sit a little bit lower. Lift your left leg. Cross your left ankle over the right. If you can, hook your foot coming into your eagle legs. Sit a little bit lower. Lovely. And then unwind, let everything come down, shake it out. I'm guessing you're seeing where we're going. Eventually, we're going to come into our full eagle, but not quite yet. So come back to the front of your mat. Find your comfortable stance. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, or skip it all together and meet us in downward facing dog. Lengthen your back. Lift your left leg up behind you. Draw your left knee straight into your chest. Lift your left leg up behind you. Draw your left knee into your chest. One more time, lift your left leg up behind you. Draw your left knee all the way in. Find space so you can slide your left foot up between your hands, coming into your low lunge. Breathe here, find Lift out of your chest. You're not collapsing onto your front leg. You're lifting up. Turn your right heel down. Reach your arms out to come into your warrior one. Pull your elbows down as you straighten your leg, coming into your cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, pull your elbows down into your cactus. Back on up. Pull your elbows down. Keep your arms going as you keep your front leg straightened. Reach your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Let your heart open to the ceiling. And then exhale, bend your front knee, coming all the way back down into humble warrior. Reaching your arms up to the sky. Breathe here. Lift your chest back halfway up. Release your arms. Cartwheel by reaching your right arm all the way up and around, coming into your warrior two. Pressing down through your left front foot, opening through your left hip. Arms are at shoulder height. Breathe here. Turn your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. And then cartwheel down, coming all the way down. Low lunge, turning on your foot, stepping back into plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. And we will meet in our downward facing dog. Breathe here. Float your right leg up behind you. Draw your right knee into your chest. Float the right leg up behind you. Draw the right knee into your chest. Notice if the weight is still even in both hands. Leg up. Draw the knee into your chest. Press the mat away from you. Find that space to slide your right foot up between your hands into your low lunge. Turn your left heel down. Pressing into the outer edge of your left foot, reach your arms out and up, coming into your warrior one. Straighten your leg, exhale, pull down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus arms. Bring your hands all the way behind you. Interlace your fingers. Reach your hands down your back, open your heart to the ceiling, and then slowly start to exhale all the way forward. Bringing your right shoulder to your right knee, the crown of your head to the floor, reach your arms up and back. Press down into your right foot. Square your hips. Lift your spine, coming into a power pose, straight spine. Release your hands, bringing your left arm down, around, all the way up into your warrior two. Hold here. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. And then cartwheel your hands all the way down. Step back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here. Reach your left leg up behind you. Draw your left knee into your chest. And now reach your left leg back up behind you. Bend your left knee, open your hip to the left. Twirl your left ankle. Square your shoulders, square your chest. And then reach the left leg back up behind you, nice and long. Draw the left knee all the way in. Find space coming into your low lunge. Breathe here. Turn your right foot down. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. Come on up into your warrior one. Pull your elbows down, lengthen and straighten. Bring your hands behind you, open your heart, and then exhale, bend all the way forward. Crown of the head to the floor as your arms reach up behind you. Lift up into your power pose, lengthening from the top of your head to the back of your right foot. Release your hands. The right hand drives down, up and around, coming into warrior two. Turn your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Come back to warrior two. Bend your left arm, bring it to your left thigh. Reach your right arm up. Find lengthening your spine. Exhale, bring your right arm by your right ear. Breathe here. And now I want you to come all the way back through to peaceful warrior. And now flow through to side angle. This is going to burn on your legs, but it's okay. It's temporary. Back to peaceful and back to side angle. We're going to let our right hand come all the way down, step ourselves back to plank, go through our vinyasa, and meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here in down dog. Our discomfort is temporary. Focus on it and then breathe through it. Lift the right leg up behind you. Draw your knee into your chest. Float the right leg up behind you. Bend the right knee, lift it up to the ceiling, opening your hip out to the right. Twirl your right ankle. Reach the right leg back up behind you, draw it into your chest, find space, press the mat away from you, float your right foot up between your hands. Turn your left heel down, reach your arms out and up. Warrior one, pull your elbows down, lengthen back up. Pull your elbows down, reach behind you, interlace your fingers, open your heart. Exhale, cascade forward. I got a little wobbly there. You got to pay attention, pressing into your feet, crown of your head all the way to the floor. Core stays engaged. Inner thighs are active. Reach those arms up and behind. Lift your torso up into a position of power and strength. And then release your hands. Let your left arm lead you up and open into warrior two. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Come back through to side angle, left arm up by the sky. Check in, drop your right hip, lengthen your spine, and now bring your left arm by your left ear. Beautiful straight line. And now we're gonna flow all the way back to our peaceful warrior. And now flow all the way forward to our side angle. It is work. It can be done. And one more time. And now we're going to reach our left hand and bring it all the way down to the mat. Step back into plank. Go through your vinyasa. And we will meet in downward facing dog. Lift your hips up. Shift the weight into your hands as you tiptoe your feet closer to your hands. And let your head hang heavy. Reach your two fingers around your big toe. Press your two fingers down in your yogi toe lock. Let your head hang heavy. Lower your hips, straighten your hips. Lower your hips, straighten your hips. Lower and straighten. Release your yogi toe lock. Heel toe your feet to the edges of your mat. And now with your feet slightly turned out, same thing, lower your hips, lift them up. Bend your knees and lower, lift and straighten. Bend your knees and lower, and lift and straighten. Heel toe your feet back in, slowly one vertebra at a time. Start to roll all the way back up to stand. Lining your shoulders up over your hips, coming into a tall, straight line. All right, let's try and put our whole eagle together. See if we can do the whole pose. Definitely find something to hold on to if you feel like you're gonna need that support. So we're gonna come into our chair pose, reaching our arms out and up. You're sturdy between both feet. You're gonna bring your right arm over, coming into your hug. Bring the backs of your hands to touch and then cross your palms. Lift your elbows up to shoulder height. Let your hands come a little bit away from your forehead. Start to shift your weight into your left leg as you start to lift your right toes up and off the ground. Cross your right leg over your left, and if possible, interlock, double twisting. Sit your hips a little bit lower. Keep pulling those elbows out and away from you. Squeeze your inner hips together for balance. Draw your navel in. Reach your hands away from your forehead up to the ceiling. One more breath here. And then slowly unwind, releasing everything. Shift your weight from one side to the other. Sit your hips down into your chair pose. Give yourself a hug, left arm on top. Bring the backs of your left hands to touch, and then if possible, the palms as you double cross your arms. Start to shift the weight onto your right foot, peel your left toes up, lift your left foot higher, cross your left foot over. If possible, double hook, sit a little bit lower. Notice if your hips got all wonky, see if you can pull them back towards the front. Elbows reach up, shoulders relax, hands move away from the forehead. Sit a little bit lower. One more breath here. And then we're gonna exhale and release. We're gonna do that again. So if you didn't quite master it the first time, you're gonna get another chance. There's always another chance to try again. So sit down into chair pose, reach your arms out, give yourself a hug, right arm on top. Release your shoulders, interlace your hands. Lift your elbows up, draw your belly in, sit a little bit lower, shift your weight onto your left foot. Lift your right leg up, cross it over, maybe double hook your foot. Square your hips to the center. Sit a little bit lower. As you reach your elbows out, can you start to forward fold? Slowly bringing your elbows to meet your knees. I know, I'm pushing, I'm challenging, but that's okay. And then slowly come back up. Release your right leg, draw the right knee into your chest, standing on one leg, release your arms, reach your arms up to the sky. Hold here, you did it. And now lower everything down. Hey, it is humid here. It is warm. Sometimes that helps an eagle though. Things slide a little bit more. All right, sit down into your chair pose. Give yourself a hug, left arm on top. Intertwine your hands, double cross. Sit a little bit lower. Start to shift the weight into your right leg, peel your left toes up, cross your left leg over the right. See if you can interlock them. Square your hips. Sit lower, lift your elbows up. On your exhale, maybe you can start to fold forward. There's a lot of pushing and pulling, tension, holding you upright. Give it a try. And then slowly come back up, uncross your legs, draw your left knee up to your chest. Unwind your hands, reach your arms up to the sky. And then let everything come down. Shake it out. That was amazing. You tried, and that's all I can ask. Bring your feet back out. Bring your hands to heart center or to your waist. And slowly sit your hips down, coming into a traditional squat. Making our way down closer to the floor. Bring yourself down all the way. And then extend your right leg out in front of you, bringing your left foot to touch your right thigh. Sit up tall like we did at the beginning of class. Bring your right hand to your left knee, just a little bit of a twist. Reach your left arm up, and then find the diagonal stretch over to your right big toes. Pressing the heel and the calf of the right foot into the floor, reaching your arm nice and long. And then float up, left hand comes behind you, press your right hand up, coming into a bit of a stargazer, stretching through your hip. Come back down, turn towards your right toes, and fold forward, finding nose to knee. Breathe here. Slowly roll yourself back up. Extend the left leg, bring the right foot in. Twist gently over to the right, left hand on the right knee. Reaching your right arm up by your ear, exhale, side bend to the left. Keeping both hips on the ground, reaching and stretching and elongating. Couple more breaths here. And the right hand comes down behind you, presses into the floor, left arm reaches up, stargazer on this side. And lower the right hip down, swing around, nose towards your knee. Breathe here. Slowly roll back up, extend your right leg out. You're in a wide straddle position. Flex your feet, press the backs of your legs into the mat. Sit up tall, find your sit bones. We don't do this pose very often, so if this is as far as you can go, get comfortable and stay here. I want you to draw up through the center line and then slowly start to crawl your fingers forward. So we're keeping a straight spine. I don't expect everyone to get down very far, because I want you to think about tailbone to the crown of your head, staying tall, staying proud. This is an active stretch, not a passive one. Let your shoulders relax away from your ears, let your jaw soften, but you are lengthening from your spine. With each exhale, maybe you can get a little bit closer to the ground. Maybe your hands come out a little bit further in front of you. Let your elbows come down. A few more breaths here, stretching, finding your limit. Keep stretching a little bit further, a little bit deeper. And now slowly walk yourself all the way back up, spine straight. Using your hands, draw your knees in, bringing your feet to parallel. Soles of the feet on the floor, knees to the ceiling. Holding on to that straight spine, reach your arms out and lower down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift your shins up so your knees are over your hips. The back of your head and spine are on the floor. If you're like done, this is where you're going to stay. If you want a little bit more, you can lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground for this. All right, but keep your lower back on the floor. We're going to drop one toe down and then come back up. Drop the other toe down, come back up. And lift. And lift. Toe down. Toe down. All right, keeping those legs there, you're going to bring your right leg over your left. eagle legs on your back. Holding here, reach your arms out to the side into your T position. Drop both knees over to your right. Look to your left. Your left shoulder will probably come pretty far up off the floor. That is okay. Pressing your inner thighs together, you're going to roll back up to center. Uncross your legs, stretch your toes up to the ceiling. Hold your feet here. This is a very gentle, supported inversion. And now bend your knees, cross your left leg over the right. Can you eagle wrap your legs on the floor here? And then drop both legs over to the left, looking over your right shoulder. This twist is deeper through your hips. If it's too much, let it go. Do a normal, gentle side twist. And then press the inner thighs together, come back to center. Release the legs, feet straight up to the ceiling. This time, flex your feet. You can bring your arms to cactus or one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And breathe here. Start to bend your knees, reach for the outer edges of your feet, coming into a happy baby if that's a comfortable position for you. Rocking side to side. Maybe you prefer to bring the soles of your feet together. Maybe you want to hold on to your toes, straighten your legs. Or maybe you don't want to do any of it, and that's okay too. If there's anything else that you want to do before we close out class with our Shavasana, take the time to do it now. Maybe you need a figure 4 stretch. Maybe you need a bridge or a wheel. Maybe you just need to relax. When you're ready, slowly extend one leg and then the other, one arm and then the other. Let the back of your head find support on the mat. Let your right shoulder and left shoulder blade find support. Maybe you need to give yourself a gentle tuck to your tailbone and re-extend your legs so that your spine is long and straight and relaxed. Let your toes flop out to either side. Give yourself a shake. Let go of any tension. Put space in your jaw. Release the tension between your eyebrows. Let your eyes soften. Take a big inhale. Hold the breath as once you've inhaled all that you can, hold it and then exhale everything out. We'll do that again. Take a big breath. Inhale, 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 hold. And then slowly exhale everything out. One last one. Deep, long inhale. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Retain the breath. And then exhale everything out. Move into a stillness and a silence. Let your mind focus on your breath. Count your inhales and your exhales as you drift into your Shavasana. Remain in your Shavasana as long as you can. This is where I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you and namaste. I will see you all in 2 weeks. There will not be class next week on the 4th of July.